Hello everybody. What is going on? Wow, we got a good turnout today already, huh? Bunch of names in the house already. Daniel Smith, Dougal, Rutnut, OT, Ground Point Niner, Jonathan, Chris. Man, there's a bunch of y'all. I can't go through all your names, but glad to have y'all here, man. This is going to be a good day to stream. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling good. Got a little bit of sleep last night, so baby's asleep right now, so I'll try not to be too loud. But, yeah, it's good to be on the sim. And here we are, guys. We are in, where are we? Reno, Tahoe. We are in Reno, Tahoe in a lovely Airbus A320 in a Frontier livery. We have got the antelope on the tail today. I don't know what the name of the antelope is. I know if you guys aren't familiar, but Frontier, they have different animals on every tail, and they name the aircraft after the airplane or after the animal on the tail. So, but man, all right, guys, let's get started, huh? I finally updated my flight factor. This is the update that came out, I think it was a week ago. I hadn't done a stream with the new update yet, but I got my radar system working, and we may not see any returns out there today. I don't know how the weather is looking along our route of flight, but I am going to go ahead and talk through this radar panel. Once we get up into cruise, I'm going to give a little bit of an explanation on how to work it in basic modes, and I'll probably end up doing a in-depth tutorial and really show you guys how the radar works in the Airbus, maybe in a separate video, probably not a stream, it would be an actual upload. So let's go ahead and get everything started. Alright, we've got the airplane sitting on a ground power. I'm just going to go ahead and get everything up. So one thing I did notice that, man, I don't know if you guys have this. I don't know if it's something I did wrong or if maybe there's a bug, but the lights inside the push buttons now look kind of terrible to me. I don't know if it's ever since I updated it. What do you guys think? You guys, they seem kind of fuzzy, or I don't know. It just doesn't look right. So got that situation on right now. But I have my BSS sound pack back on, and it's sounding good. So let's go ahead and get some ADIS information here. We are connected to the Pilot Edge network. Hello from Brazil, Victor Tango. How's it going, man? Captain Saigon, hello. Real time. 12345. Hello, Cap. Greetings from Holland. Have a safe flight. Thank you, sir. Dougal, hope fatherhood is being kind to me. It's been kind so far. I mean, we've had a couple rough nights, but hey, man, that's to be expected, right? All right, let's get everything fired up here. We're at 135.8. Let's see if we can get
requested. Read back all runway
here.
Assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information Tango.
Information Tango.
Reno Tahoe International Airport. ATIS information Tango. 1955 Zulu. Wind 290 at Niner. Gust 18. Visibility 10. Ceiling 10,000 broken. 16,000 broken. 22,000 broken. Temperature 31. Dew point 6. Altimeter 3000. Arriving and departing runway 34 left. Visual approaches in use.
All right.
VFR departures, contact clearance delivery. Advise on course heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested. Read the call runway assignments and hold short instructions.
For clearance.
Advise on initial contact. You have information Tango.
We've got information Tango. That's
Reno Tahoe International Airport.
Get rid of that. We don't need to listen to that guy anymore. All right, let's load up this flight plan box here, guys. I have another more exciting news for you. I have another video complete. It's finished editing everything for the advanced MCDU or McDo series. I'll probably upload that maybe Friday or maybe Monday. I'm just trying to space them out. I'm trying to catch up. I want to get some videos done. That way I can just upload them consistently throughout the week. It's kind of hard to have a consistent schedule with a newborn. I'm sure all you parents out there know exactly what I'm talking about. But here we go. We're going to go Reno to PSP. Today's flight number is Frontier Flight. What are they? FF320 Oops. I'm just using my keyboard to type. That's why you don't see me moving around here. But Frontier Flight 533, no alternate. We're going to go cost index of 30 this afternoon. Cruising flight level is going to be 3. What did I file? Oh boy. I think it was 300. We'll set that in there for now. We may have to change that. And the aircraft is aligned. Confirm alignment on ref. OT asked, does the weather radar work in the TOLUS? I believe it does. I think it's just default. I haven't had any luck with it yet, though. I haven't really played around with it. I don't have the proper symbology on the ND. I do have proper symbology on the Flight Factor ND, so I'll show you the difference, and maybe you guys will know if it's working or not. I know the buttons move on the TOLUS. I don't know if I've actually seen radar returns with it, though. Daniel Smith says, I think the flight sim god's punishing me flying the A319 with the yoke. Oh, man, I think so, too. That's pretty brutal. Can't be doing that. All right, let's see what we got here. We're going to go plan mode, constraints on. Let's get our ND up here. We can see what we're doing. We're going to take off runway 34 left. Oh, boy, this is not good. Thought I had the Zephyr 6 in there. I do not. Interesting. You know why? It's because my database is not current. Alright, we'll go ahead and we'll just skip that for now, and we'll get that in here in a second. We're going to go Derby. After Derby, it's going to be Charlie Zulu Quebec. And after CZQ, we're going direct to Clausen, C-L-A-S-N. We'll insert that, and we're going to be following that up with, yeah, let's see, I don't know what they're going to be landing down there at Palm Springs. Let's go ahead and just throw in 3-1 left? I'll throw in 3-1 left for now. On the Sizzler 3R nav. Lawson transition, insert that. Let's see what we got here. So we're gonna figure out our departure procedure here. We'll contact clearance delivery and see if we can get that sorted out. Everything else looks good. Robert B says, yes, I've noticed the buttons on the new version too. Okay, so it's not just me. Simone says, V1, has the Batavia mod been updated for the new version? I don't believe it has. Right now I'm using the Batavia mod, like the lights, and I don't know if this is the bluish cockpit. It looks a little bit more blue, but it may just be the default. I was having issues. I did get the wings working just fine with the Batavia mod, but as far as the internal textures, I think I may have to just reinstall it, because when I copied over one of my liveries, I had some glitches in the buttons. They were just all white. So, still working around it. If you do a fresh install, it may work, but... Alright, so there we go. There is that secondary. We're going to initialize that one out of Reno. We're going to go KRNO to KRNO. This is what I talk about in that Advanced McDo episode. We'll really talk about activating, confirming a secondary flight plan, and how to properly do that in the real world. We'll put the ILS right back in there. Perf data. Come over to the approach. What was the altimeter? It was 3,000. Temperature outside is 2.
552 Sierra Delta, Seattle Center.
Wind was 290 at 9er. Yeah, my nav data is out of currency. That's not very good. Put the DH in there. Alright, nothing to hard tune out of here. Initialization page B. What do we got today?
552 Sierra Delta, cleared from the Tillamook Airport to the Echo Lima November Airport as filed. Maintain 17,000. Departure frequency 1.
Alright, so I've already loaded up the airplane here. We've got a zero fuel weight of 55.3, and CG is 25.3. Throw that in there. Boom. Perfect. Fuel on board for today's flight is 8.4. Perfect. Let's take a look at our fuel.
552 Sierra Delta, repack correct. Advise here when you're
estimated rating 5.1. That doesn't seem right.
Delta 720, contact Salt Lake approach.
Alright, so everything else looks good there. We're going to go ahead and put Reno 34 left. And then our perf data, we'll throw this in the box here. We're doing a flaps 1 takeoff, 149, 149, 151, flexing 55. Okay.
Delta 720 Salt Lake approach, roger.
Ace Goodhart says, greetings from the Bahamas. Greetings, Ace. Good to have you here, buddy.
1-2. The weather's been kind of funky, so you can expect the ILS.
Let's go ahead and close up everything.
Left. Descend via the Watts 5 arrival south transition.
We'll leave the passenger door open for now.
Sorry, and you're going to be descending via the north transition.
Move the fuel truck.
Left. I just want to verify because the ATIS is indicating southbound.
We've got the fuel. We'll get those pumps on here. Let's fire up the APU.
Affirmative.
Come on.
3-4 left.
So, interesting enough, guys, we just had a company memo come out talking about a couple crews that got to an aircraft that had low oil, and it was because the other crews weren't properly waiting for the flap open. That's just to come on. So no one was actually checking to see if the AP was low on oil, and a couple crews got that ECAM memo popped up, low oil, and they had to delay the flight a little bit. So listen to that APU firing up. Albert Delgado coming in, $5 donation, man. Awesome. No chat associated with it. Well, I appreciate the donation, man. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. I wish, I don't know if you meant to put a message there or not, but I don't see anything. So thank you for your support, man. Thanks for the donations. That goes a long way in supporting the channel here, and it's awesome to have you aboard. Thank you, sir. Chris Haregrave says the weather radar has been working about 80% of the time for the TOLUS. Okay. Yeah, guys, I don't know if I've just been a little bit lucky or what, but I really haven't flown into any severe weather really requiring the radar yet, so we'll still talk about it today, even if we don't run into any. What color lighting do I use in the Matavia? This is a warm cockpit, and I normally like the gray textures, but this looks to be the bluish texture, so maybe I threw in the wrong one. I can't recall. I do prefer the grayish with the warm lights. It's one of my favorites. All right, let's call up, get our clearance. This is going to be interesting here. Let me check our data. I'm surprised we don't have that departure procedure. Had the Zephyr 6 RNAV. I'm taking a quick look here. Maybe that was off a different runway. Yeah, that's off of southbound runways. Okay, so we're going to have to change that up. Clearance will give us one here. Let's give a shout out to them. That was on 24.9er. And we've got information Tango. Morning Reno, or good afternoon, Reno clearance. This is Frontier 553 looking to pick up IFR to Palm Springs.
Frontier Flight 553, Reno clearance, good evening, clear to Palm Springs Airport, Zephyr 6 departure, Darby transition, and then it's filed. Climb via the SID, squawk 2750.
All right, we're cleared to Palm Springs via the Zephyr 6 departure, Darby transition as filed. Climb via the SID, squawking 2750. And we got a question. They're showing 3-4 for departure, and for some reason we're not able to load that Zephyr on 3-4 departure. Trying to think. I'm pretty sure. I'm looking at the Zephyr 6 here now.
Frontier Flight 533, stand by.
Roger, stand by, 533. Yeah, so the Zephyr...
Expect a different departure procedure here in a moment.
Roger that. We can take radar vectors too, whatever's easier for you.
Roger.
So yeah,
720, you need to descend via the north transition. That's
the Zephyr 6 RNAV that I filed for is based off of southbound runways 16. So in real life, when this would happen, we'd get an alternate clearance. He would probably...
So if the north transition is for the landing if you're landing on the north runways,
I thought it
which
was
you are,
talking
you're
to me.
expecting Alice 3 should be going to race.
So clearance would actually come back and say that, hey, you're cleared via, they would just give us a different departure or radar vectors. So he's going to look that up for us. We'll stand by for him, get some of these cabinets here. Captain Geo in the house. Guys, I'm going to be glued to my laptop when that junk get home Saturday. I can't wait. I'm excited for you, man. That's going to be awesome. Alberto. There's this message. Not much, but I appreciate the content as an aviation enthusiast. Alberto, hey man, any little bit helps. I appreciate you being here. Just being here, tuning in, being active in the chat. You know, that's awesome. That's what I'm here for. So I appreciate it. Small amounts, large amounts, no amounts. I appreciate every single one of y'all.
November 2 Sierra Delta, time now 2021. Clearance void up Air 1 by 2030.
This guy's pretty busy.
Delta 720, reduce speed to 230, then descend and maintain 10,000.
Hopefully he hasn't forgot about us here. Let's go ahead and spin this up a little bit. I guess we can make sure we're ready to go. I guess we'll close up the rest of the doors here. Let's go ahead and close up the... Now this... There we go. This has been happening to me lately. It's like glitched out, maybe?
720, turn right heading 160.
We'll go ahead and remove it from over here. We're off on the ground power, and let's go ahead and remove the front cargo... the front passenger door. We'd get a beacon light on. We're standing by on the transponder. Let's plan our pushback. Be proactive here.
Round to cockpit. Plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu.
OT says, hey V1, what are you supposed to do if you fly the entire star and you pass your last waypoint and AT still has not giving you vectors? This has happened to me a couple times recently. OT, and that can vary depending on the star that you're flying. Does your star have a transition to the runway? Some of them are linked, and a lot of the new RNAV approaches are where they actually transition right into an approach. So if they give you... I'm going to turn down little Miss Haley here. She's a little bit loud. Let's turn it down a little bit. If your star is linked to your approach, you'll get a clearance that sounds something like clear to descend via the Sizzler 3 runway 34 left transition. That means you're cleared all the way to start flying the approach after you get to the end of the star. If that's not the case, then yes, ATC should be giving you vectors. In the real world, they'll probably give you vectors before reaching that last waypoint too. Just depends on what part of the country you're flying in, how busy the airspace is. But yes, you should always be vectored even after the last fix. And some of those stars will say, after reaching the last fix, just track heading 350 or whatever it was on a weight radar vector. So sometimes if it's really busy, you'll just fly a heading until they get to you and then they can vector you in. But if they're forgetting about you, that just could be a pilot edge thing, so don't worry too much about it.
Sierra Delta radar contact, plan to maintain 17,000, so the lookout altimeter 3003.
Daniel Smith. I've got 60 Ryanair flights planned for when I get back home. Nice, man. Alright, we'll give him about we'll give him one more minute, and then we'll query ATC. In the meantime, let's go ahead and do a pre-flight checklist. Maintenance log and tail number, that is on board check. Gear pins and covers removed. Signs, they are on and auto. ADIRS, we are in nav mode. Fuel, 8.0 required, 8.3 on board. Altimeters, ooh, that's a good one. We need to set 3000. Set once and set twice. Set 3 times. Altimeters are set. EFB is checked. Pre-flight checklist complete. All right, we are just waiting on the last one here. I'm just trying to get my cameras here. Watch your eyes for a second, guys. If this bothers you, I'm trying to find a new camera. Ooh, look at that clipping. That's interesting. So I'm actually going to find this camera. I like that one.
Delta 720, are you going to need a moment before I begin your base turn? Or are you ready now?
Alright, this guy clearly forgot about us, so let's give him a shout out here.
Delta 720, roger. Reduce speed to 1.
Cap Geo coming in, $2. Yeah, man, getting the i7 970 or i7 9750H with the 1660 Ti 6GB. Awesome, Geo. That's going to be one kick-ass system there for running this sim. Hey, clearance, Reno clearance is Frontier 533. Just want to make sure you don't forget about us.
Yeah, Frontier 533, no worries. We'll get to you. Don't worry about it. Just continue as normal. They'll issue you a quick reroute. It's just going to be the departure procedure only, nothing different. They might do that to you when you're ready to taxi. Give me just a minute here, though.
No problem. Take your time, Frontier 533. We'll push into the alley. We'll stay off the active. We'll be waiting for you.
Delta 720, trumpeting 360.
All right, so we're going to just go ahead and this, in real life, we probably wouldn't be going anywhere without a squawk code, but we'll just leave it at 2000 for now. That one that we have not been assigned one, and let's do a B4 start and get out of here. Windows, doors, and slides. They are closed and armed. Beacon is on. Thrust lever is idle. Parking brake is on for now. Transponder is transponder for now until we get a clearance. And what I'm going to do, guys, little tip, if you're ever waiting for something like this, drop down your whiskey compass. So if we're ever waiting for a logbook to come back on the airplane, maybe maintenance has the logbook, and I don't want to leave the gate without something, I always drop this down. This to me is a symbol that, hey, you're forgetting something. So that's just a little backup reminder. I'm going to leave that down, and let's go ahead and get off the gate here.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Chris Hargrave says, viewing how accurate would you say the flight factor and tow-less is as far as brake temps and cooling go? Chris, you know what? I've been a big fan of the tow-less brake temperatures. I have a harder time getting the flight factors to heat up. So, I don't know, especially now in the summertime, flying in the desert area, the brakes get pretty hot. So, initially, flight factors brakes were pretty poor. I couldn't get them to heat up no matter what I did. I don't know if that has since been changed. We'll keep an eye on that as we go into Palm Springs today. Ground Point Niner says, I'm seeing some familiar faces here. Mostly from Canada. Awesome. Oh, yeah. He was streaming in the... Was he in the JAR 330 today?
Okay. All doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Matea, hi, we've won first time on the channel. I heard you are the flight deck to sim of X-Plane Airbuses. Well, I don't know if I've reached that status yet, but I appreciate it. I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you, sir.
Frontier Flight 533. Ready copy.
Ready copy, Frontier 533.
Frontier Flight 533, go to Palm Springs, P-Vine 3 departure, cards, transition, direct Darby, and then as filed. Everything else, including your climb out instructions, remain the same.
Okay, we're cleared now with the P-Vine departure, cards, transition, then as filed, and everything else the same. Frontier 533, thanks. Alright, so let me throw that in the box here as we're getting ready to ton up. He said the P-Vine 3, cards transition, insert of that.
Release parking brake.
Brakes release, clear to push, tail in the alley, please.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Let's take a quick look at this here, make sure we aren't going to get in trouble. There's P-Vine cards, then direct Darby, so we'll get rid of that discon there. Hopefully we don't have to go all the way out to cards.
720, contact Salt Lake City Tower 132.65.
See that? I don't know if it's a flight factor thing. Well, so that's doing a flyby waypoint there. That's why it's so
Salt Lake Tower, Delta 720,
far, but we'll leave it for now. What the heck? All right, everything else looks good.
Delta 720, Salt Lake City Tower. Wind 020 at 4, runway 3.
Sendero in the house. Hey, V1, how are you? I'm doing good, man. How are you, Sendero? Sendero's he's my go-to quick reference handbook. He is also an Airbus captain. Whenever I got questions and he's on the stream, I'll just send it his way so I don't have to pull out the COM2 or whatever it may be. Good to have you here, buddy. Rutnut6 says that Wizz Air in Reno. Yeah, I know. I left draw static aircraft on, so we got some interesting airplanes out here in Reno. Pretty funny. Maybe we're using him for parts. You know, maybe he's out here and we're parting it out. Alright, we're clear from the terminal. Let's go ahead and fire up engine 1. Oop, I think I did it too fast. Never do that. That's when I start yelling at people. HD Simulation. What's up, V1? What's up, HD? Good to have you here, buddy. Big D1 says, hey, can I get a private message to you? Yeah, man. PM me on Discord. Risty, any of my message coming through? Yes, Risty, I'm seeing them. I just a lot of chat messages, man. I try not to miss very many, but sometimes I do. So if I miss over your comment, I apologize. As this channel is growing, more and more comments start flooding in. Brake set.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
All right, brake set. Clear disconnect. Show me pin on the left, and let's go ahead and fire up engine number 2. Love that PTU sound. V1 or OT says thanks for the answer. Probably VATSIM, so maybe it's a distracted controller. That could very well be. Spin cycle. Are we going to practice V1 cuts out of Reno? Gosh, I hope not, man. That would be interesting. I may or may not confirm nor deny that there is a beer on my desk right now, so I really hope we don't have to do any V1 cuts today. There's the power transfer on number 2. Oh, good. Air engine 1, high pressure bleed fault. We'll clear that out. That could be a nuisance warning here. Let's see.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal will be on the left. We'll see you next time. Have a safe flight.
Thanks for a smooth push. See you next time. Alright. Everything else is good. Bleeds look normal up here. Alright, that was just a nuisance warning. Alright. That looks good. And I should actually probably pull out the SID here. So let's take a look at this departure procedure we are supposed to be doing. We are on the P-Vine 3RNAV. Alright, according to the P-Vine 3, top altitude, flight level 190, out to cards, blah blah blah. Climb at 344, the direct P-Vine thence, 190 sign, expect 5 miles an hour. Okay. Pretty self-explanatory. The only thing we got to worry about is meeting cards right there at or above 10,000 feet. However, the top altitude is a 190. And we should probably put the squawk in the box. What do you say? We were squawking 2750. And that's in... we got to turn it on for the sim. Put it in above mode. Okay. Also, that needs to come on. Alright, everything looks good. Let's go ahead and close my reminder and contact ground control, which is 121.9er. Just like ground point 9er. I love that name, man. That's classic. Radar ground, Frontier 533, radio taxi, information tango.
Frontier flight 533, Reno ground, turn runway 16 right, taxi via correction, runway 34 left, taxi via Alpha, cross runway 25.
Runway 34 left, taxi via Alpha, Frontier 533.
Frontier 533, cross runway 25 at Alpha.
I'm sorry, cross runway 25 at Alpha, Frontier 533. Alright, where are we at? Now I'm confused.
Delta 720 taxi via Alpha 8, Bravo, and Echo to the ramp. Remain on this frequency. Good day.
Alpha 8, Bravo to the ramp. Stay with yourself.
Let's go ahead and verify this. We don't want to make anybody upset today. Oh yeah, we do have to cross the runway. Okay, for some reason I forgot about that. Straight out here, right turn on Alpha, all the way down to 34 left, clear to cross. Lights on, brakes released. Let's get out of here. Oh, track IR, why are you doing that to me? Okay, we're gonna have to fix that. My track IR is on speed right now. Left turn on Alpha. once we get onto Alpha, I gotta do a couple things. We gotta do flight controls and all that good stuff, and I also have to adjust my track IR because I think I have the preset for flying fighter jets in Digital Combat Simulator, so just give me a second here as I Alt-Tab around. Track IR, where are you? Yep. Wrong setting for track IR. Okay, that should be sorted out now. Much better. Alright. Let's go ahead and do a flight control check. Full up, full down, neutral, full left, full right, neutral, rudders, full left, full right, neutral. Max, takeoff config, system 1, everything's a TA. Alright, flight attendants, please prepare for takeoff. And we actually have to do...
Yes,
which
sir.
is interesting. Yes, sir. We have to actually come over here and do the cabin ready, which I can't do for some reason. We'll cross the runway first. We are clear on the right. Clear left, clear to cross. Let's get those lights on. HD Sim says, I have a better looking firmware for KRNO. I'll send you via Discord. Oh, man, you know what? I had a scenery for Reno, and when I went to load in on this stream, actually, just minutes prior to going live, it was corrupted. So I think I'm missing a library. I gotta fix that. But yeah, send me what you got, and I will check it out. Oh, Haley thinks we landed because I turned the strobe light back off after crossing the runway. Tower's going to be 18.7 this afternoon. Departure frequency was... I didn't write it down. Cool. Departure frequency on the SID is 19.2. So, we'll go ahead and throw that in there. She's still a little bit loud. She's still a little bit louder. Let's go back to BSS here. Let's turn it down. In reality, you can't even really hear anybody in the back unless their volume is extremely loud, which is then obnoxious to the passengers as well. X-Plane 1972 coming in, $4.99 donation. Dude, congrats on the new addition to the family. X-Plane 1972, glad to have you here, man. Thanks for the donation and the support. Thank you for the kind words, man. It's been a rodeo this first week and a half so far, but I love every minute of it. So thank you for that. And if you guys haven't already, man, check out X-Plane 1972. He streams pretty frequently throughout the week as well. He's got some good content. He makes his own ortho too. He's got some pretty sweet looking sceneries that he's always flying around on, so check him out if you haven't already. Alright, let's go ahead and flip over to tower 19.2. Oh wait, no, I'm already on tower 18.7. And let's run a checklist before we do that. For the takeoff checklist, gross weight comparison is complete. Pitch trim is 30.0% CG set, V1, VR, V2 flex. We've got 149, 49, 51, flex 55 set. Flaps, config, 1+F. Flight instruments, check. Flight controls, check. ECAM memo is takeoff, all green. ECAM status, check. PWS is auto. TCAS, code set, TRA, cabin crew advised, mini breeze complete. for takeoff to the line. We can go ahead and run it below the line. Runway. We've got runway 34 left. I see it outside. I see it in the box. Fuel, 8 required, 8.2 on board. Engine mode selector is normal. Bleeds and packs are set for takeoff. Checklist completed. Let's get out of here, guys. And we're going to our Frontier 533. Hold short, 34 left, ready to go.
Your flight 533 Regional Tower, runway 34 left, cleared for takeoff.
34 left, clear for takeoff. Frontier 533. Turn him up just a wee bit. I haven't taxied an airplane in a very long time. Oh, undercut that one a little bit. This is what happens when you're on leave and you don't fly airplanes. This is a terrible turn on. Alright, nose forward on the stick. Spool them up 50%. That was horrible. It's the first time. Here we go. Man flex 55, SRS runway, auto thrust is blue. Knots, thrust set. Neutral by 100. V1. Rotate.
Retard.
Is it right? Gear up. We're navving. I'm sorry guys, I normally pop these out for you so you can see the picture a little bit better.
Your flight 533, contact departure.
Over departure, Frontier 533. Alright, let's go ahead and autopilot 1 this for now. Departure good, afternoon Frontier 533, 5.9, climbing via the P-Vine.
Frontier 533, northbound departure, radar contact.
Thrust climb, auto thrust.
QC Delta, Portland, altimeter 29er.
Chris Hargraves, V1 Sims, can you hear the flight attendant PA from the cockpit? No, generally speaking, you cannot, unless their volume is extremely loud, like I said. Or unless you have the PA volume knob on in your headset, then yes, you can. But generally speaking, no. You can't even hear the passengers clapping you've landed. You know what? You can if they clap loud enough. Here's flap 0 after takeoff check. It was pretty cool. The other day, well, not the other day. It's been a while ago now, but we had a smoking runway, or just weather was just terrible going into Las Vegas, and I set it down not to brag, but it was very terrible approach. But if you have a terrible approach and a smooth landing, that's all the passengers really care about. So when we touched down, it was a greaser, and I did hear some clapping, but it was rough. I mean, it was borderline severe turbulence coming into Las Vegas, so people were getting thrown around. Plates were breaking, coffee pots were falling out of the racks, and it was just a mess. But you can hear them if they clap extremely loud enough. Generally speaking, no, you cannot. Daniel Smith, what's your favorite letter in the phonetic alphabet? Mine absolutely has to be X-ray. Ooh, I like X-ray. Or, oh man, we're not going to make that restriction, are we? It's a flyby waypoint to cards. Climb, baby, climb. At or above 10,000 feet, 9.6. There's 10. All right, cool. We can manage it back up. Out of 10,000 feet, let's go ahead and turn everything off.
533, contact Oakland Center 132.905.
132.905, Frontier 533. I'm definitely a little bit rusty, guys. I apologize. I forgot to turn the lights on. All right, lights are set. Easy enough. Apologize for that. I should be on. That was, yeah. Now I know why you're not allowed to drink and fly. Center, good afternoon. Frontier 533, 11-7, climbing flight level 190.
Frontier 533, Oakland Center, climb and maintain level 210.
Climb maintain, flight level 210, Frontier 533. Alright, climb to 210. I don't know my favorite phonetic. Maybe Delta? I like Delta. Alright, let's make sure. We probably should have that terrain push button on there. As we come over some ortho scenery here. Man, let's step outside, have a look around. Look at the valleys here. Man, it's beautiful. A whole different kind of animal. I missed a bunch of comments. I apologize for that. Andre Bogdashin says maybe one day you'll do a special and show your DCS experiences too. Hey man, if you guys want to see it, I've got no problem streaming it. I love flying DCS. I love flying Digital Combat Simulator. I got a squadron that we kind of founded, and we do a lot of flying on DCS. Matter of fact, I think one of my buddies is a little upset with me because I should be flying DCS right now instead of streaming. But hey, I just wanted a nice chill afternoon. But if you guys want to see it, I got no problem throwing it up there. Got put in there says, unfortunately, I have to change my name so that the real GP9 doesn't catch me using his name. It was an accident. My 3 months from a sub, U2 doesn't run. Oh, I got you. I got you. Does the Flight Factory 3 have ADS-B? I think so. I've gotten CCAS before. This is, yes, correct, this is the CFM engine, Daniel Smith. Flight Factor only has the CFMs. No IE engines modeled, unfortunately. Alright, let's see, how are we doing up here? We're 16-1, climbing 210. How's the audio, guys? Is it a little loud? Let me see if I go in here. I feel like the environmental sounds are just a tad loud. I had to reinstall BSS, so my systems, no, we're going to keep that up. What's our outside air temp? We're in clouds plus 15. We're looking good. No need for anti-tax. Excuse me. Weather, master internal. Turn that down to right about there. That's for our outside environment. So if you're unfamiliar, this is the BSS sound pack. It's plug, well not plug, yeah, it is a plug-in right here. So it allows you to adjust individual settings here. It's not life. I wonder what life is. Maybe that's just people in the back. Systems volume? No. EPU. I like having the EPU at 100. There's 18 set standard once, twice, and 3 times. Looking good. It's not switching. It's alright. We'll just turn down the master internal a little bit. There we go. Hope that's good. Alright, let's go ahead and turn this off, and let's look at our radar box for a little bit as we're climbing up. We're 19 for 21, 114 miles. Everything looks good. Alright. Let's take a look here at the radar display. So, as you guys can tell, obviously the radar's working now, and a big way to tell if it's working properly, and this is what I'm having issues with on the tolless one, is you see this tilt 0.00 here? That tells me that the radar is on. In the tolless, I don't get any tilt. I don't get any tilt information on my ND with the tolless. So maybe I'm doing something wrong, and if I am, let me know in the comments. I'll have to try to figure it out. We're 20 for 21. So anyway, that looks good. So the tilt is on. Matter of fact, we're just going to keep that popped up there so we can play with it. We'll see how well this is simulated. Actually, let's just keep climbing up. Center Frontier 533, you got higher?
Frontier Flight 533, sorry, your cleared altitude is flight level 310.
Oh, 310, Frontier 533. Leaving 21 for 310, Frontier 533. Yeah, so I thought I heard 21, but all right, we're good. Okay, we're climbing up back to our radar. So let's see how this is working. Let's go over some basic control knobs and indicators here, so we can just look at what we've got, and then we'll test it. So I touched on this briefly last time. This is your gain knob, and there's a calibrated position. So 90% of the time, you're going to leave it in calibrated mode, and think of gain as sensitivity for your radar. Multi-scan. This is where it gets a little bit more complex, and it looks like I can only keep it in manual, which is interesting. So if it's in manual, okay, I can adjust man gain, so that's looking good. So the only way to adjust your gain is if you are in manual mode. If your multi-scan is in auto, then you can't adjust that. But essentially, the gain knob just adjusts the sensitivity. But in calibrated mode, as it is now, if this were in auto, the radar actually takes into account a bunch of different things, such as the aircraft's altitude, its geographical area, the season, and the time of day. So the weather in auto mode and calibrated is extremely well done. I mean, in the Airbus, the weather radar really paints a good picture. It takes into all sorts of different factors. Now, when you move the multi-scan switch to manual, which it looks like we're only in manual mode at the time being for the flight factor radar, if you set calibrated to or if you set the gain to calibrated, as we are now, the radar adjusts the gain to a default calibrated setting that would come from Airbus or maintenance or whatever it is. So if you want to, maybe you're flying through an area of some storms and you're only painting green, you could bump up your gain to see where some of the harder returns are. Off and vice versa is true as well. I missed a donation. I am so sorry. Andre Bogdanovsky. $5, man. Thank you for all you do, and congrats on becoming a lady. Thank you so much, Andre. I really apologize for missing that donation. It just I got dinged and I totally missed it. I really apologize. Thank you so much for your support, man. I thank you for the congrats on becoming a daddy too. It's been a journey. It's definitely a fun one at that. But thank you for your support, man. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. So back to the gain knob. In calibrated mode, you're basically calibrated, and you can turn sensitivity down when you're in the minus, and in the plus, you're turning it up. So those are those two knobs. Now let's see what else works. So we have off and system 2. Okay, so actually they've modeled both systems, 1 and 2. So you could have 2 radars. Some aircraft will only have 1, and it'll just say in up here by the number 2. But apparently we've got two radars. Now the mode is got several different numbers or letters on it. Let's zoom in. Let's get in here nice and close. So the mode knob has a couple different settings, and we can change them. Oh, that is cool. We can change them, but it doesn't look like it's depicting over here properly, but we'll still talk about it. So WX is weather. It stands for weather mode. Colors indicate the intensity of precip. For black would be the lowest intensity. Green, amber, and red indicate higher intensity returns. Now, actually, I don't know if they have magenta. I don't know if we're not painting anything out there, but magenta would be the highest return level that you would see with WX. If you move this to WX plus T, that is weather and turbulence mode. Now, it has to be, I believe, turbulence has to be installed. Maybe it's hazard. I think it might be hazard mode. But WXT essentially will show you weather and turbulence. If there's turbulence, the radar can pick this up, and it will display that as turbulent areas within 40, I believe it's 40 nautical miles from the airplane, from your position, and it will be displayed as in magenta. It can actually pick up on turbulence. So you're also going to have your weather and your turbulence if you're in WX plus T. If I go to turb mode, or turbulence, I'm not paying anything. That is just going to be turbulence only. You're only going to see turbulence. So this could be useful, like let's say you have it in WX plus T, but there's so much radar returns out here, you don't know what's precipitation and what's turbulence. Then you can either turn off turbulence or you can turn off weather and get a better idea of what's happening in front of the airplane. Lastly, on this radar, I believe we're missing one. Although maybe it's just the one that they model. We have an extra option on ours, which is weather and hazard. But map mode is ground mapping. So I talked about this one a little bit in the last stream too. It's kind of fun. Can we tilt this down and paint anything? I'm trying to paint the ground. So in map mode, the radar will operate in a mapping mode, and essentially black would be water, green is ground, amber indicates cities and mountains, if I recall that. So the amber and I think is it just amber? Amber is just cities, but typically you're going to see black and green. So we used to play with this when you're flying across big lakes or across the ocean. You can get you can paint ships if they're large enough out there on the radar. So that was one thing we used to do. JCP123 coming in with 199. Appreciate it. Super chat towards the 319 BSS fund. Great stream and congrats. Thank you so much, JCP123. Thanks for the support. Thanks for your thanks for being here, man. And yeah, I really hope that Tillis 319 BSS it drops sooner than later. I'll definitely be putting that towards that. I will wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning and stream for you guys when that puppy gets released. I'll be so excited. So Spin Cycle says, I'm just seeing I missed a lot of comments here. I'll try to get back to him after I finish talking about the radar. But he says, test time, at what range will turbulence display out to? I believe I said it's 40 miles, if I'm correct. I think it's 40 miles. Maybe you can verify that. Maybe Sendero, somebody can. I think it's 40 miles. For some reason, that number is sticking in my head. So anyway, back to the map mode. Yeah, you're basically just ground mapping. And in the Embraer, we don't do it. I can't do it in the Airbus, but in the Embraer, we used to paint ships on, over bodies of water or over the ocean, over the Gulf of Mexico. And then you would take our fix info page, essentially, and shoot radials. And we try to draw a radial right through the ship on the return. Basically, you're shooting lasers at ship returns. So hopefully, we don't get too distracted. Nobody will tell the FAA that, but yeah, that's when you're bored enough, you come up with fun things to do. So unfortunately, it looks like the only functioning mode really is the tilt. As you can see here, I'm tilting. You can see the corresponding change in radar elevation. But I'm not picking up anything, which is to be expected because I don't think there's any weather out here. There's really, even though we've got some clouds, I don't think those are any hard returns. So everything looks pretty good. Let's go turn the seatbelt sign off. But, yeah, so that's a little bit about that part of the radar. The PWS, predictive wind shear, does not appear to be functional. We can skip that for now. And GCS, the ground, oh gosh, I'm drawing a blank. Ground suppression, ground something, ground clutter suppression system. Now this is always spring-loaded to the auto position. And I know it's not modeled here, but just a brief talk about it. Essentially, if your multi-scan is in manual mode, which in this radar we have to be in manual mode, if you were to move your GCS switch to off, you could display ground clutter as well as your radar returns. So let me say that again. If you are in manual mode and you turn off GCS, you can paint ground clutter on your display if you want to. That's why it's spring-loaded to auto, because why would you really want to put ground clutter on your ND? So it's spring-loaded to auto, and when it's in auto mode, you're not going to have any ground clutter. 2745, Frontier 533, sir. 2745.
Seattle Center, TBM 552, Sierra Delta with you, level 17,000.
TBM. Ooh, I love that airplane.
552, Sierra Delta, Seattle Center, afternoon, Ellensburg, altimeter 2985, set to maintain 13,000. Set to maintain 13,000.
So that's a little bit about the radar. Unfortunately, we're not really getting any good pictures out here. Let's check in with this guy. Oakland Center, good afternoon. Frontier 533, level 310. All right, so let's take a look outside. Let's see how we're doing out here. I know we're spent a lot of that stream sitting in the staring at that little radar screen. Let's come over here. Let me get to some of these comments now. So I hope that talks a little bit about the radar, you guys. It looks like, you know, the only function we have is just the basic mode to paint returns. Hopefully it works pretty good. I'm going to have to get into some real weather and see how it paints. But all right, let me get back to some of these comments. So I'm going to scroll back a little bit. Ground Pointer says, how long is this flight supposed to be? Not long. It's, shoot, it's only like 400 something miles, so just a little over an hour. That Diablo claims, how do you know the thrust reduction and climb altitude, the perf page? How do you know it? Well, it'll actually tell you here on the perf page. We can't go to takeoff. We can't go to the takeoff page because we're already in cruise, but it will say, you have your V-speeds right here, and then it will say thrust reduction / acceleration altitude, and it'll be depicted right on the V-speed page for you. So if you want to know what your thrust reduction is, that's where you would check.
Down to 9,123.820.
Sam Kenneth says, I'm sure a sim can be very valuable during a long leave, giving you the ability to keep your chops up in the comfort of your own home. Yeah, absolutely, Slam Cannon. The having a sim like this really does help, and some of you guys probably already know, but back in the day when Flight Factor wasn't even a thing yet, and I was on the Airbus, I actually used the FS Labs Airbus and FSX to help me study for the Airbus, and it is a great tool because, I mean, I showed up to class knowing already what to expect a little bit. I mean, you kind of know where the switches are, you know what the colors, you start to associate things very well with having a sim like this, so it definitely does help. Art, how do you know whether to use baro or radio minimums? Art, that will depend on the type of approach you were doing. So for us, we always use MDA, or I'm sorry, we always use, I don't pretend I didn't say that. We always use baro minimums unless we are doing a Cat 2 or Cat 3, and then it would be a DH. But that could vary on where you work and what airplanes you're flying. That's just what we do here. Oh man, I keep losing my spot in the comments. All right. Daniel Smith says, I miss simming. It's been too long. 3 weeks. Oh man, that's a long time not to sim. Spin Cycle, V1 Sim, where's all the guard chatter on Pilot Edge? On guard, I know, right? You would think that there would be somebody on guard talking smack. But we gotta remember, guard is for Delta and emergencies only, or else you can't speak on guard. It's kind of an inside joke. Pilot Boy says, hi Cap, do you use reshade? No, I do not use reshade. I use X Vision with the impressive reset preset, and I used to use reshade, but I was having issues with it. Like, it doesn't show up in screenshots for me. I can't get the reshade overlay to show on a stream, so that's when I got rid of reshade and I went to X Vision. I also gained some FPS, you know, on my last system when I got rid of reshade. For some reason, reshade just was really heavy on my old rig. I had a Gen 1 i7, and it just, I don't know, it didn't cope well, so I ended up getting rid of reshade. So I use X Vision with the impressive reset, and it's just pretty much the default impressive reset.
505, takes ground runway 8 taxi via Charlie.
Dougal says V1 Sim, definitely put some DCS up. All right, well then I will, if you guys want to see it.
Virtue Sierra Delta, just had to maintain 6,000.
James says, ever hear the American airline guys say Dixie instead of Delta for taxiway etc. airline rivalries? Sometimes, yeah. James, it depends on where you're at too. Like in Atlanta, the hub of Delta, you actually are supposed to use Dixie for the phonetic D, because if you start saying Delta and there's 3,000 Delta airplanes around it, it can be confusing. So in high Delta airports, it's commonly referred to as Dixie, like a taxiway is Dixie instead of Delta. But that's just to avoid confusion with Delta Airlines when there's a bunch of them. This sim needs an A340-600. That would be nice. I would like to see a real quality A350 though, man. If this had a real quality A350, that would be so cool. And I'm talking, you know, FlyJ Sim, towless, flight factor quality A350. How about an A380? Nah, not for me, man. Too big. Too big for me. Heavy Driver says Mitar Sims is actually developing a study level 384 X-plane. That would be interesting. Not to say that I wouldn't fly it around. I think it'd be cool to see, you know, how it handled, I guess, and the different systems. If there are very many, I'm sure there's a few. But that's the one thing that's really nice about Airbus. I mean, you go from the 319, 20, 21, 330, 340. I think the 350 too. I mean, it's all almost identical cockpit layout, a lot of the same systems, and of course, you know, you get on bigger airplanes, you might have more systems of, you may have more of one thing than you would on another aircraft, but still, Airbus did a really good job at making it an easy transition for most pilots. Ruben says how to update the 320. I can't open X Updater. Oh, man, the only way I updated it was through the X Updater. So I just launched, you know, got into my X-Plane folder, aircrafts, X Updater, and it was able to update. Daniel Smith says, did Soviet pilots in ATC speak Russian or English? Well, if they were in Russia, they probably spoke Russian. I know in the States, it's all English, but once you start flying into different countries, you can speak in your native language if that's the language you called up in first. And that can be, you know, if you're flying somewhere where you're not familiar with the language and you hear them talking, but then you recognize your call sign in the language that they're speaking, that can be a little unnerving because you know they're talking about you, but you have no idea what they're talking about. But that's just kind of the nature of the beast flying globally. Spit Cycle says I was correct, 40 nautical miles. Extra credit from NEO has increased out to 60. Yeah, the NEOs that we have actually have a different radar. They have the ADR, the RDR or something. This is the, if I'm not mistaken, I think this is the Rockwall. I think this is the Rockwall radar. I know we have where I work, we got 3 different radars that you see in the aircraft as you're flying around. I'm pretty sure this is the Rockwell Collins multi-scan. That sounds right, because it has that multi-scan switch right down here. So I'm pretty sure it's Rockwell Collins. But yeah, we have a couple other ones. The Honeywell RDR 4000s, I believe, is our other ones. Just a dude shooting lasers through the ship sounds like important safety-related work to me. Yeah, me too, man. TBM Life, whoop, got stuck at Philly for 6 hours dealing with the cancellation to Miami last night and couldn't go to Palm Beach, so I'm in DC. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that. Philly could be a beast. I used to be based out there for almost 5 years. Philly can definitely be a beast.
Sierra Delta 6000 is as low as I can get you there.
All right, let's see. How are we doing on our distance here? 273. We should probably start getting set up here. I'll take it down to 250 and then we'll go. Let me see if I can skip through some of these comments here and catch up with you guys. I know it's hard when I get far behind, but I try not to skip too many comments at one time. So I apologize if I'm missing what you're saying. If you got something really important though, join our Discord. We've got a couple different channels in there. We've got a couple pilots on the Discord. They all can help you out. So if you got questions and I'm not answering them, That's what the Discord's for. Hop in there and you'll get an answer for you. Comrade, hey, how's it going? How's it going, Comrade? Comrade is BSS. But don't ask him when it's going to be released, or else he'll never release it. So it'll be released when it is ready and when it is good to go. I have 100% confidence that he will get it done. And in all honesty, as much as I want it now, want it fast, I would much rather have a super quality sound pack that makes me feel like I'm actually flying the airplane than have one come out a little bit premature and be missing some features. Especially since he set such a high standard with this sound pack. It's a lot to live up to. Rutnut6 says to make you feel better, I've forgotten how to fly the A320. It's been so long. And I'm the one slotted to fly your bird. All right, Rutnut. Well, we're all counting on you. I'll have a couple more repos for you guys here momentarily. We're going to be expanding our fleet here, so we'll be having that. You on the lookout in the repo pilot channel. Rena says, side note, been gone for the past 20. What planes do I have in DCS? I have almost every single module in DCS, man. I'm a DCS nerd. My favorites, obviously, the F-14 Tomcat. That's one of my favorite aircraft of all time. And the Huey is my favorite helicopter of all time. If you guys know my life story, maybe you do, maybe you don't. But my original goal in aviation was to be a medevac pilot. That's what I wanted to do. My dad was a Vietnam vet. And I just thought, being that guy that goes in to get somebody out, to help somebody else on medevac would be one of the coolest things, the coolest feelings. But life had different plans for me. Don't regret it. I'm not upset about it. But I do. That's why I do fly the DCS Huey. I love that module. I also love the F-18. That one's pretty much the F-18. I think is kind of an Airbus of DCS. Very modern. A lot of systems in there that are really well modeled. But I fly them all, man. MDA must-do edition. Yep. MDA must-do edition. We had 50 feet. Jenny MDA. HC Sib 113 watching. Wow, we're up to 113 watching. That's pretty nice. Only 53 likes. Come on, guys. So V1, some love with some 120 likes. Yeah, guys, smash that like button. But I do have one guy going around thumbing down almost all my videos. Just one guy. I don't know who I pissed off, but I guess can't please everybody, right? Carta J-Wall in the house. Say V1 Sim told us in Flight Factory are doing an A350 V2 at the moment. Okay, interesting. I do remember somebody telling me about that. So, well, hopefully it'll be as good as I have come to expect from it. Kind of a weird cloud layer situation going on right there. All right, let's go ahead. We're 249 miles out. Let's go ahead and start setting up for our arrival. That way I can do more comments with you guys without getting behind here. So we're going to go into plan mode. We're going to get this up here. There's my... There we go. I don't know what's going on with that blue line out there. Alright, so here we come down. Let's zoom this in a little bit. Sizzler, Maximo, High Top, Zuki, Baby, Moron, Fern, all the way down to PSP 9000, DZ 9000. And then I've got basically a vector for the visual, 3-1 left into Palm Springs. That looks good. Nothing to hard tune right now. Let's go ahead and change this. Let's go ahead and put PSP in there. I'm not going to put a runway in yet just because I don't know what runway we're going to get. 7.8. Let's go ahead and round this up a little bit. Let's do 7.8 and let's do 300.
Retard.
Alright, the approach for Palm Springs. Well, let's go ahead and get the ADIS and stuff first. Let's go back to the browser. We don't need that, we don't need that, we don't need that, we don't need that. We're going to be... Palm Springs is in California. let's go all the way down to the P section. Palm Springs. Alright, what do we got? Talk to me, Goose. Addons is 2465. Let's see if we can pick that up on column 2. We may be a little far out. Nothing on 2 yet. Now, I've had this problem before. Let's just try. Let's just try it on COM 1. Hopefully we can switch frequencies and come back before he yells at us. I'm just going to flip it over real quick to see if we're receiving anything. 2465. Nope. Alright. So we're still a little far out.
American 505, contact Albuquerque Center 134.32.
2745. Alright. Back to our... Whoops. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What is going on here? Okay.
Frontier Flight 533, contact LA Center 133.2. We'll see ya.
33.2, see ya. Frontier 533. 33.2, 133.2.
Albuquerque Center, good afternoon, American 505 with you, 15.6 on 210.
American 505, Albuquerque Center, climb maintain flight level 330.
Alright, so we're going to scroll down here. Let's bring out our Palm Springs Airport diagram. And we also want to bring out the ILS. Center, good afternoon. Frontier 533, level 310.
Your Flight 533, Los Angeles Center Rider. American 2050, Las Vegas clearance.
Let's go ahead and where is the approaches?
Ship 1 departure.
Instrument approaches.
Then as filed. Climb via the SID, squawk 7004.
They don't have the ILS in? I'm pretty sure. I thought there was an ILS in there. Was there not? Am I losing my mind?
2050, reback, correct.
Arrival, Palm Springs. I guess not. No, there isn't. So, let's go ahead and load up the RNAV. Well, we could just do straight visual. We'll throw in the RDAV 3-1 on the left. Oh boy. What did we just delete? Awesome. System. There we go. Oh boy. What is going on now? I screwed something up. Really? You want me to put an approach via for the RNAV? Alright, we gotta fix this before we start turning off course. 3-1 left. We're gonna go.
Number 960 Romeo, man, clearance, departure frequency 134.2,
Sizzler
squawk 33.
Clawson. Insert that. Redirect us to Clawson.
0.2 and 3321 for squawk for 9060
Wrong
Romeo.
one.
960 Romeo, reback, correct. Number 30 Yankee, safe parking.
Roger, GA parking here to the, I guess,
Audio.
Yankee taxi via Alpha, hold short runway 15.
Alright. So apparently, the flight factor wants us to reload the whole approach when I put in that, so we'll leave it as 3-1 left visual for now. Let's go ahead and go here, here, here. Transition on 18,000 feet. We're still waiting on the wind. Nothing yet? Alright, so we're going to hold off until we get our Addons. Everything else looks good. We're not going to use our LS push buttons because we're not doing a localizer type approach.
960 Romeo, that's ground. 1916 right, taxi via Alpha Charlie.
Yeah, this is looking good. Let's go ahead and turn down some of these lights. We have a lot of lot of background floodlights here that we don't need. Ah, there we go. All right. HD Sim says V1 Sim, the current 350 is not that bad. It just needs SIDS and stars. I've been flying it for the past 2 streams of mine. Once told us an F factor get V2. I don't jump on board. I hope, man. Yeah, I remember now. Okay, so it doesn't have SIDS and stars. Yeah, that's pretty much a no-go for me. I tried really I can only really fly study level aircraft, at least in the airliner version, just because I mean I try to fly some of those other ones that aren't really well done, and it just I can't do it. I can't get immersed, so I have issues. So the jar probably turned me off without having SIDS and stars. Blue Max says I'm in the Flight Factor 320 out of Miami right now. Awesome, man. Albert says, I honestly feel like a passenger. Real talk, man. HD Sim, the Tomcat, is a favorite fighter jet of all time as well. Nice.
Yeah, 2327 contact.
Spit cycle, an airline pilot doing a case recovery in the Super or something else. It sure is, man. It's a lot of fun, though. I like doing those case 3s.
United 2677.
Hey, AK Music Productions official. 11 NOK. Forgive me, what is that? Is that Norwegian? No, it's not. It's, yeah, Norwegian krone, right? Like the Swedish krone, Norwegian krone. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate the donation. Thanks for your support. No message, though, so I don't know if that was, if you wanted to say something. I don't see a message with that. But thanks for your support, man. Thanks for being here.
United 2327, good day. We are inbound.
Rutnut 6 says, ooh, DCS nerd. I love the F-14, but that jet eats me up. A lot more proficient in the Hornet. If you ever get the chance, head down to Pensacola. They have F-14 cockpit. Nice. Yeah, I've sat in F-14 cockpit a couple times. You know, this might date me a little bit, but when they were still going to air shows and stuff. But, yeah, F-14 is a legendary airplane, man. I love it. Now says, do you have the ambition to fly bigger aircrafts at some point? Now, that's a question I get a lot of the times, and it depends. You know, right now, I'm happy. Like I don't have the desire to do 13-hour legs or 14-hour legs, whatever. I like being home and being there for my family as much as possible. Now, there's an article out. I've talked about it. You guys probably heard of it. I think it was called Little Boeing, Big Life. Now, it's an American Airlines guy. He's basically a super senior guy. He could fly any airplane he wanted to. Almost anyone, anyway, within the company. But he chose to stay on the 737 because it gave him the best quality of life. And for me personally, that's my desire right now, is I want to have the best quality of life for my family. I got my little girl, my wife, and everything. So right now it's a good fit for me. I'm happy. And man, being in a cockpit for more than 4 hours is like, I really start getting antsy.
Airplane 533, cross Glerno at maintain flight level 240.
Cross Glerno at or cross Glerno at flight level 240, Frontier 533. So that was kind of a weird clearance. He said at or below, but he didn't clear us below. So we're just going to make it a hard altitude in descent mode, insert that. We're going to set 240. So he said, I think did he say at or below 240? But we didn't get a clearance to send via anything, so we're just going to descend to 240. I don't know what's going on with the weather here. I think that's like some haze layer or something going on. Dougal says, I gave up on DCS since my reactions just aren't fast enough. Gotta be pretty quick in there, Dougal. Yeah, I don't feel bad, man. But maybe you should try and get flying some helicopters. It's a totally different experience. Yeah, Pilot Boy says I'm missing some tiles. I don't know. I don't think it's tiles. I think it's... It's weird. It's... Because it fills in. I've never seen that. I think it has to do
After departure, flighting 310.
with the weather.
2000 until advised.
So hopefully that'll clear up. We'll just we'll
100.6.
pretend it's not. Well, we can't even pretend it's not there on that one. How about this side? There we go. How's that? You don't know what's going on there. Big D, check out the Discord afterwards. Yes, I will, man. Oh, actually, you know what we should do is we should not forget about our descent here.
Oh, probably uniform Juliet Papa, including class Bravo airspace, resume on navigation, send via fire to discretion, John Wayne altimeters 2902, about you have information echo.
Still not picking up anything on the ATIS. I've had this before. I don't know if 124.65. Let's try it on column 1 again. I should be within range. Alright, nothing yet. 8 miles to top of descent. I should have put this into all mode here, but we'll throw it into below mode as we get ready to start down. 6.5 and let's go. Mach descent.
November 960 Romeo.
24 blue. Let's get everybody seated. I don't know what the heck this is. I apologize for that, guys. We're starting down to 240 though.
404 Foxtrot Romeo, Lindbergh ground, runway 27 taxi via Charlie.
BKG says one of my chill out flight routes is
2327 contact.
John Wayne SNA to PSP in the Diamond DA42. Awesome. That is a chill route, man. I used to take all my flight students out to Palm Springs and John Wayne. Soul Killer asking the famous question, which one do you prefer, Tolas A319 or Flight Factor 320? Boy, Soul Killer, you know what? It's hard to say. I will say this though, the Flight Factor has a more complete MCDU and it has better quality texturing in some aspects, like the wings and stuff. With the Totemek mod on the Tolas 319, you've got just as good, if not better, texturing qualities in the cockpit and everything. So it's tough. But then, with that being said, the deciding factor for me comes down to sound, and the BSS sound pack and the Flight Factor just blows the Tolas out of the water. So within sound, I mean. So that's the deciding factor for me. But I still love both airplanes. I still love flying both of them. And I'm going to continue to fly the 319 as well. The 319 is also much better on frames, so that's a big plus to that if you're maybe struggling on the hardware side of things. But, you know, it just comes down to personal preference, really. They're both great airplanes. Swarm asked the other, which one do I prefer the most in real life? Well, if it's going to be a bumpy day, I prefer the 321 because it rides better. A 321 with sharklets, not the wingtip fence there. A 321 with sharklets rides nice and smooth, man. If I'm going to be, you know, going into tight airports, then I would prefer. This actually does look like I'm using tiles now. What the heck is going on here? What in the heck is going on? This is going to be interesting.
Flight 533, contact Los Angeles Center 125.27.
2527, Frontier 533. Well, what's going on here? Either the 319 or the 321 would probably be my favorites. The 320 is a little bit more slippery, and it's just kind of it's just there, you know. The 319 is more hot rodish. The 321 is smoother. The 320 is just there.
160 Romeo, so kind of departure right now.
Center Frontier 533, 25-4, crossing Gilmo at 240.
Frontier Flight 533, Los Angeles Center, send via the Sizzler 3 arrival, Palm Springs, altimeter 2977.
Send via the Sizzler 3 2977, Frontier 533. Alright, so 2977. Send via the Sizzler 3.
While in the Bravo at all times, LA altimeter 2900.
So the bottom of the Sizzler 3 is going to be, let's take a look at that. Desi at 9,000.
7404 Foxtrot Romeo, radar contact.
I don't know why that. What is this here? I don't know what that. That should not be there.
November 60 Romeo, just want to verify.
Bottom is 9,000 feet, so go ahead, set 9 or 1,000. And where is our next? Yeah, I think we're already in the. We're already set up. So let's go ahead and manage the descent. Down we go. Let's descent 9,000 blue. Alright, I want to clear the weather out because I want to see if that's doing anything here.
404 Foxtrot Romeo, so kind of departure to resume on navigation.
Yeah, we're going to have to figure this out. Oops. There's some kind of like ground level fog that's conflicting with it.
404 Foxtrot Romeo, 18 class 5 airspace, remain clear,
Weird.
maintain VFR.
Hey, Norwegian Kronen 8K musical production. There we go. You earn the money a little bit extra for your work. Awesome, 8K. I appreciate the support, man. Glad to have you here. Thanks for the support, man. I'm glad I got your message on this one. It is. I enjoy streaming for you guys, and I really enjoy the support and the community that surrounds this channel. So you guys are awesome. Thank you for that. All right, so this is weird. We are missing like terrain tiles or something. Well, we're gonna go along this journey together, guys, because I have no idea.
Well, probably uniform Julie Pop, private contact, Charlie Tower 126.
Wait a second. Let's turn this radar off. Let's see here.
4 Foxtrot Romeo, VFR traffic, 2 o'clock, 2 miles southbound, altitude indicates 1,000, 510.
So, I think this is some kind of visibility layer. I don't know. You guys tell me. Have you seen anything like this? This is weird. Let's not look at it if we can help it.
Golf Bravo, uniform Julie Pop, runway tower, kind of right down with runway 20 right.
Tax code delivery. Advise on course
there we go.
Addons.
There's our ATIS. It's coming through. Swarm 3513 says you probably answered it, or... Nope, I'm sorry, I already answered it. This, he said, have you ever thought of flying just cargo, FedEx, UPS, Amazon? A little bit. That's not for me, man. I flew freight as a freight dog for a subcontractor for UPS and FedEx.
2053 Wind.
We're starting to pick it up. And it's just not for me, man. The lifestyle, flying on the backside of the clock is whatnot, is just not what I'm after. But I got a lot of friends that fly for UPS.
Altimeter 2977. Arriving and departing runways 13 left, 13 right. Visual.
It's trying to come through.
Is requested. Read back all runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact that you have information Lima.
It's trying to come through.
2053 Zulu. Wind 050 between 020 and 120 at 7, gust 18. Visibility 10. Sky conditions clear. Temperature 43. Dew point 3. Altimeter 2977. Arriving and departing runways 13 left, 13 right. Visual approach.
Departure, flighting 240. Expect radar vectors Steel Beach, then as filed. Maintain 2000. Expect 4000, 5 minutes after departure.
Oh, I thought it was talking about us.
128.1.
Alright, 020 at 7. I didn't catch the temperature down there. Let's see if we can look it up real quick.
Palm Springs International Airport, ATIS Information Lima, 2053 Zulu. Wind 050 between 020 and 120 at 7, gust 18. Visibility 10. Sky condition, clear. Temperature 43.
Holy
3.3. Altimeter 2977. Arriving and departing runway 13 left.
Alright, landing runway 13 left to 13 right. We're obviously going to land on 13 right. So, that we need to do some work here.
404 Foxtrot Romeo, traffic
Let's get this thing figured out here. I'd like to just do a visual approach. Show you guys that. Let's see, RNAV 13 right. Zulu.
Romeo on traditional traffic, 12 o'clock, 5 miles southbound along the shoreline, out indicates 3,500.
Sizzler. Alright, is this going to mess this up here? If I insert that. Nope. It's going to mess up my descent though, that's alright. We'll fix that.
Flight 533, contact Los Angeles Center 126.35.
126.35. Frontier 533.
Retard.
Senators Frontier 533, 20.2, descending via the Sizzler 3 with information Lima.
Frontier 533, Los Angeles Center, Roger. Palm Springs, altimeter 297.
Alright, so we're going to go redirect this to high top here. This box got a little messed up here. There we go.
5 miles.
We're back in nav mode. So there's some funky stuff going on with this box today. I don't know what's going on here.
At 2327, cleared visual approach, runway 26 left.
So now we're below. That's alright, we'll just go ahead and set 700 foot per minute descent rate. You know we got to cross Pazuki at 16,000. I don't trust this box. I'm going to just set 16 now so we level at Pazuki. And I don't know what on earth is going on with these tiles. This is blowing my freaking mind, guys.
404 Foxtrot Romeo, radar service terminated, squawk VFR, frequency change approved.
Like, let's see. There's nothing down there. So...
We're 960 Romeo, SoCal approach, Australia altimeter 2993, maintain VFR.
Let's see if it reloads anything. Nope. Well, we're gonna probably have to land on on blueness. I have no idea. Man.
Over 8 km.
Try changing your AA setting down one notch, then restarting it. Anti-aliasing. Let's see.
Yeah, it'll always be retained for
Oh boy.
2 hours.
Oh boy, hold your breath. Well, I guess I get some of these comments here. We gotta try to fix this blue thing. Nope. Eli Gamer says, can you do a manual approach? Yes, I would love to do a manual approach. Eli Gamer, as soon as we get down here, I'll tell them we got the airport, see if we can be cleared for a visual and come straight in on that. But I've got a lot of weird things happening in this plane right now. I've got blueness in front of me. I've got an airplane that doesn't want to descend via an RNAV right now.
Thank you.
We're in descent phase. And whatever this blue thing is it is toasting my computer right now. There's some kind of hiccup going on. This is not very fun. Let's go open descent down to 16. Let's just get down. Maybe if we get lower, it'll get better. Dylan Noix says, might as well restart your game. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, Art, I really think it's missing a tile now too. It might be, but why is it not? Like, maybe I'm missing the tile, but the tile seems to be following the airplane. That's what's blowing. That's what's crazy. I mean, as we fly, this gets bigger and bigger. So, welcome to the wonderful world of X-Plane. It might be time to start bracing, Rutnut 6. It might be time. Oh boy. The weather add-on is default weather, so Sim Race HQ is asking that. Alright, let's go ahead and set 29er77. Alright, let's test the, let's go medium brakes. We're going to test the runway landing, or the runway, or the brake modeling, I guess, in the flight path. If we land with medium brakes at 40-something C, it's going to be smoking hot. Alright, where's our next?
I'm not observing your transponder verifier squawking on Charlie.
Biddy, okay, so everything is looking good there now. Let's reset this to 9,000. Alright, so we're out constraint, we're in descent mode, and we should pick up the descent right here. Let's turn to 26.7, Frontier 533. SoCal approach, Frontier 533, level 16,000, sending the Sizzler 3 with Lima.
Frontier flight 533. SoCal approach. Roger, thanks for Lima. Expect the RNAV Zulu, runway 13 right approach, or the visual approach. And just advise you get the field inside there.
Alright, we'll expect the visual approach if we can get it for Frontier 533 landing 13. Alright, so we've got a bunch of issues here. What we could do is actually ask him for a direct to Wasac on the RNAV.
XV Alpha Hotel Charlie.
Which is actually an intermediate fix, and then we can reload it from there. I wonder if I can do, because I don't know if we're actually going to see anything, guys, so let me try to load up the approach again. 13 right.
United 2327. United 2327, go ahead.
Back approach
yes,
vias.
Where are you going? We are
and I want to go from
the KPSP approach.
I guess we can go from
Okay,
Fern.
Sir, you've been cleared for the visual approach to 26 left, so I'm kind of expecting you to proceed, you know, in the most,
this is
like, expeditious and safe route to the runway. So for you to still be on the arrival is a little surprising. Okay, so
alright, so I'm going to ask him for direct Fern. We're going to try to load up, we're going to try to descend via the RNAV, and then that way if we don't see any runway till the last minute, maybe we can still set it down.
If you want to proceed out on the procedure next time, you just need to...
Right, that says time to squawk 7700. Reason Earth has left the chat. That's hilarious, man.
Downwind of the airport, they'll be expecting you to...
Alright, thrust throttle descent.
...to the airport at that point. Okay, perfect. Next time I will do it, sorry. At 2327, no worries at all. And just verify that you have the field in sight, and that's what you're doing.
Man, I was really looking forward to a beautiful ortho arrival here in the Palm Springs. We're going to have to redo this flight at some point.
Yeah, at 2327, just verify you still have the
I need to ask this guy for direct Fern so we can just do this RNAV and land on blue water.
Negative, we don't have still the airport inside. United 2327, roger.
Hey! Whoa!
After KRNO, cleared ILS runway 26.
Look at that! That is the most bizarre thing I've ever seen, guys. Alright, I need this United guy to get off the radio so I can get a clearance here.
No problem.
Approach Frontier 533. We'd like to request direct firm for the RNAV RMP-13 if we can do that.
Frontier 533, I can't give you direct firm, but after firm, you are cleared RNAV Zulu, runway 13 route approach.
Okay, after firm, cleared RNAV RMP Zulu 13 route approach, Frontier 533. Alright, so I should insert that. And then hopefully let's make the turn here. Insert. Select heading track first. Really? Alright, so we're going pretty much direct to Fern anyway, so we're going to insert that. Beautiful. Okay, everything is looking up, guys. 14.3 descending. We're already on our way to Fern, so let's recycle the box to Fern. Hey, we're going to figure this out. Okay, look at that. We're back in nav mode. Fern is at 11,000 feet. After Fern, we are cleared for the RNAV. I know the visual's down there, but let's go ahead. We're high. We're too high for the visual, so we're going to descend on this RNAV here first. I've got 11,000 for Fern now because that is my clearance after Fern. We are cleared RNP approach. We can actually arm the approach push button here. Let's come back here, and we probably should start slowing down as well. Select speed 250. I apologize, I missed a lot of comments here, guys. I'm scrambling. Now, the last thing we need is the MDA for the RNP, which actually, this airport, believe it or not, is actually a DA, which is rare on the RNAV approach, but it is an RNP with a DA, so it publishes a DA at 812 feet. So we're going to put it up here in the MDA box, but I'm not exactly sure if that would be that way in the real airplane, because my chart is showing a published DA, and this shows MDA. But we'll keep it. All right, here's 11,000 feet. I guess I skipped a lot of comments, but I'm back. I'm re-up with the comments now. I'm current with the comments. I skipped over a bunch, I know, but I hated ignoring you guys there for a while. All right, let's get the brakes out. This has been... I picked the wrong flight to drink on.
1051 Mike, John Wayne ground, runway
There's Palm Springs. We're cleared approach.
Kilo, taxi,
and
Kilo.
Let's go ahead and set 10,000 feet. This side will open a descent. Final approach fix is going to be a JEXOT, which is 2900. So I'm going to actually go ahead and set 2900 in the bottom here. We got to catch up to the RNP path. We're a little bit high. We're going to use our little mini speed brakes to help us slow down. We're cleared approach, going through 10,000. There's 250 on the speed. Continue reducing. Let's come back to 210. 210 is a slippery airspeed in the 320. We typically don't like to fly around at 210 knots, but we got to meet this restriction here at JEVOC. 210 at or above 10,000 feet. We're in final app. Look at that. We are looking good. We are looking good now. Get rid of the speed brake. VFE next to -10. Let's go flaps 1.
Retard.
Brian Harris says that's a reward of being a new dad. Good things happen to us good dads. Thanks, man. Slam cannon. What's it? Miracle on ortho. Absolutely. Okay, here's final lap. Vertical deviation brick is captured. We're in the left-hand turn. We're coming around to Cuxit, which is 210 knots. We're cleared approach. We are looking good. Runway length is 10,000 feet, so we have plenty of runway. We're going to try this medium brakes for the sim purposes only, guys. If this was real life, I would probably use manual brakes in full reverse to try to keep minimum temperature, but I want to see how Flight Factor handles this heating element on landing here. Alright, we're back to the beautiful ortho scenery. Man, that looks good out there. It looks hot out there. It sure does look hot out there. Daniel Smith says, can you please slam it down on the runway? Oh, Daniel Smith, I don't know if I can do that. I may end up doing it anyway. I'm going to try not to, though. We're going to try to not do a 3-wire trap today. We're going to try to just get a nice one. But who knows, man? Who knows? If y'all tuned in for the Flight Factor Night Ops, you could see what can happen to me after a couple bourbons. Luckily, I've only had a few beers, so I don't think it'll be as bad as the night operations video. I got a kick out of that. Rutnut6, I was going to do Denver DFW after he lands. So in the process of waiting, the weather went from nice in Denver to holy thunderstorms. Hey man, that's the nature of the beast, Midwest right now. They pop up and they can be nasty. We'll go ahead and report back, Rutnut, and in the Discords, put some screenshots up if you get any good radar returns with your 320. I want to see how it's painting them.
8 Kilo Mike, contact departure. Number 960 Romeo, contact SoCal approach 128.1.
Ed Reed in the house.
128.1 for 60 Romeo, good day.
And 2327, contact Las Vegas Tower, 119.9er.
Man, this looks good. What are we doing here? Let's make sure we're doing everything. Cooks it.
Tower on 119.9.
7,100 feet out above, 210 knots.
Thank you very much. I'm sorry.
No worries.
I'll just have train mode on as well. You think this classifies for a mountainous terrain airport?
Climbing 1,000 for 5,000 with information echo.
Blocked.
And inbound for John Wayne.
Number 960 Romeo, SoCal approach route. Exiting class bubble airspace now. Resume on navigation. Descend via part your discretion. The John Wayne altimeter 2992 access current.
Okay, leaving class Bravo and send my own discretion, maintain VFR, and 2992 on the altimeter for 960 Romeo 6.
Palm Springs is back there off the left. Oh, here,
2327 Las Vegas
up
Tower,
there. We're making a nice turn all the way back into final.
440 Kilo Mike, SoCal departure.
Slam cannon. I get it. That's funny. You pay for an airline ticket on Frontier. You only get half the ortho. God almighty, you guys are brutal. That's hilarious, though. That is funny. All right, let's go ahead and start trickling the speed back here because it's so hot, guys, that just like in real life, I would really start configuring early, slowing down a little bit early because you don't want to be coming in high and fast at 40 plus Celsius outside. You can do some damage. So speed's coming back nicely to 190. We're on the VNAV path, RNAV path, I should say.
Mike, turn left heading 100, join Victor 23.
I'm going to set up my little screens for you guys here.
Turn left heading 100, join Victor 23, 440 Kilo Mike.
That should be about right for the approach. Swarm says when it loads, that ortho looks magnificent. I agree, man. When it loads. All right, let's go ahead and trickle it back to 180. We'll get flaps 2 out here momentarily. We are VFE minus 10. You can tell VFE is this little amber equal sign there. So let's pop out back here.
960 Romeo, I have a question if you got a quick minute.
960 Romeo.
Yes, sir. So when I'm leaving class Bravo, do I maintain the same squawk code or switch over to VFR squawk?
Now you stay on the same beacon code because you're still under flight advisors. So the only time you'll ever change your beacon code is when your ATC say radar service terminated, and they'll tell you to squawk VFR. Or, almost always specifically, they'll tell you to change your code.
Okay, copy all. Thanks for the help. 60 Romeo.
All right. I love how the aircraft in real life has sharklets. Yeah, I do. I really am starting to like the sharklet looks
2327 Las Vegas ground.
on the Airbus. At first, I wasn't sure, but it looks really nice. And the 321 with sharklets almost looks like a 757. I mean, it's really nice. Long, slender body. You can see why this approach, you don't want to be messing around here. There's not a lot of leeway on this approach. Not a lot of room for error. We're still on the VNAV path. We're coming around. This looks good. We are looking good.
American 2050 Las Vegas ground. Runway 19er left. Taxi via Golf Delta.
Looking good. Man, this ortho looks good. All right, our next fix is going to be Wasak at or above 6,000. That checks. The touchdown zone elevation is 451 feet. So we're going to just call it 500 feet. The window we always talk about, I always talk about, 180 knots, flaps 2, 2,000 feet above field or above your touchdown zone. So 2,500 feet MSL will be our window. We are already well within that. As you can see, we're coming down here. Looking good. We're going to be shoot out right out the gap here, right into a final for runway 13.
At 2327, continue straight ahead on Golf, right at Charlie, into the ramp, remain this frequency.
2,500.
Rutnut, you guys are cracking me up. At least he's not flying Spirit. You'd have to pay for all the ortho. Oh man, you guys are too much. You guys are too much. Separately.
4.0 kilo mic traffic, 11 o'clock, correction, 2 o'clock, 2.5 miles.
You can hear the rad alt is starting to go off as we... The rad alt is looking down at the ground, right? So as we go over terrain, we're going to get erroneous, not necessarily erroneous readings, but we're going to get readings above ground level, depending on the terrain below us.
404 Foxtrot, Romeo, we're at Dana Point 2,500.
Alright, the tower frequency, I hope this guy doesn't forget about us. The tower frequency, Palm Springs Tower is 19.7. Whoa, don't be doing this now. Don't be doing this now.
43504 Foxtrot Romeo.
19.7, we'll put that in the standby.
440 kilo mic, additional traffic, 12 o'clock, 6 miles.
So we are clear to approach, everything is done. I probably should have run a checklist. Approach checklist, briefing is complete, ECAM status is checked. Auto brakes are medium.
Looking for traffic, 440 kilo mic.
Seatbelts on, minimums 812 set, altimeters 2977 set. Approach check is complete. Also very important to have proper altimeter setting on an approach like this as well. I mean, we are not far from terrain at all around here.
Piper at 5,000.
2,500. We got the 1 o'clock traffic.
And if we were flying Allegiant, we would have diverted by now.
51 mic contact departure.
Oh, you guys are killing me.
60 Romeo, advise you have John Wayne in sight.
Alright, 4.9.
60 Romeo.
I kind of want to hand fly this,
26.8.
but I know he's going to give me a frequency change right when I turn off the autopilot.
Local approach, Cessna 1051 mic. Climbing at 1,800 to 2,000.
1051 mic, SoCal departure, rotor contact, climb and maintain 4,000.
Climb, maintain 4,000.
Check. Things are looking good. Fronter 533, you want us over to tower?
Negative, not yet.
Okay.
Flight 933 is traffic, 12 o'clock, 3 miles south eastbound, altitude gate 6,700, appears to be descending, type unknown.
Roger that, we're looking for him, Frontier 533. Ah, we got traffic out here today. Somebody at 2,500 feet.
2,500.
So that's why he's not letting us go yet. I'm looking for him.
Number 960 Romeo, John Tower, on the right downwind, runway 20 right.
Alright, there's 2,000 feet. Let's go ahead and manage speed. Gear down. VFE next, minus 10, flaps 3. Arm the speed brakes.
Frontier flight 533, traffic on factor, contact Palm Springs Tower, 100.7.
Over to tower, Frontier 533. Tower, good afternoon, Frontier 533 on the RNP 13.
You're flying 533, Palm Springs Tower, wind 050 at 7, gust 18, runway 13 right, clear line.
13 right, clear to land, Frontier 533.
United.
The stupid cabin thing, man. I really wish they didn't do this. You don't have a freaking cabin ready panel
The gate will be your choice to get into the ramp at any
on
point
your,
there.
in the aircraft. All right, let's hand fly this. We are down to land. It's gusty out there. Let's go ahead and turn that off.
No worries, have a good day.
We're hand flying it.
American 2050 ready for departure.
We'll get the auto thrust off here just a second.
6 tower, runway 19 left, clear for takeoff, wind 050 at 9er.
Let me get this up for you guys. Landing checklist, cabin crew advised. Auto thrust is speed for now. ECAM memo. Landing all green. A landing checklist complete. We are cleared to land. Let's go ahead and go. Flight directors off.
Left downwind 20 left, we go negative.
Give me the bird.
51 Mike, clear direct, Seal Beach.
And auto thrust off. That's me. Alright, we are manually flying now. Let's just take it on down.
Skyhawk 10804 Alpha, short 12 right.
Runway in sight, a landing.
November 19804 North Las Vegas Tower, same direction of flight. We're 190H, roger, right down departure approved, runway 1 right at Alpha, clear for takeoff.
Right, turnout approved, 12 right, clear for takeoff, 804.
We're 60 Romeo, runway 20 right, cleared line.
Cleared line, 20 right, 60 Romeo.
Holy smokes,
440 kilo Mike, contact
42
hotel,
outside,
116.
guys.
We're 416 at Kilo, I haven't forgot about you, it'll be just a minute. Clearance is on request. No problem.
We may have to, might have to go manual brakes pretty rapidly upon touchdown. Definitely going to be a full reverse on this one. We got a long displaced threshold here. Our landing distance, I believe, is only around 6,500 feet or 6,600 feet, so hopefully we can actually land here. Probably would have been a good idea to check the actual performance. But hey, it's Frontier, right? Sometimes we make it, sometimes we don't. We're below 1,000 feet stable. We're sinking 800. I'd have my first officer set a go-around altitude right now, but I'm not going to reach up and do that. All right, we're visual.
100 above.
There's our mins.
We're 416 Juliet Kilo, clear to the Van Nuys Airport, fly runway heading, expect radar vectors Quang, then as filed. Maintain 3000, expect 5,000, 5 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 120.55, squawk 1635.
Okay, cleared to Van Nuys, runway heading, radar basis Quang, that is far through, initially up to 5 after 5 minutes.
We're going to put this one down right on the markers, boys. Can't afford to float this one out. Wow, my runway texture's a little messed up.
30.
Contact departure 2050.
20. Retard 20. 10. 5.
448 Kilo Mike information, Lima, Palomar advising you have.
Okay, this is an interesting runway texture. Spoilers! Reverse green. Decel. Manual brakes. 70 knots. Okay. 225 feet per minute. Yeah. It was firm, but we're here. Not a lot of runway to play with. That runway texture looks... This has just been one interesting flight, hasn't it? Holy smokes. I feel like I'm taxiing on dirt.
448 Kilo Mike, 8 Kilo Mike. Yeah, that's approved. Just let me know when you're back.
Let's go ahead and start cleaning up the airplane. I think I'm definitely missing some runway textures there.
Kilo.
Unfortunately, the above threshold
Charlie at the moment, probably going to go to Delta in a second.
won't register on a long displace threshold like that. So.
If you taxi real fast, Charlie will still be KRNO 25.
There we go. Everything looks good. Let's get you fired up. This definitely looks like an INI issue on the scenery. Apologize for that, guys, but hey, we're here nonetheless. Gate number 8, coming right.
Frontier 533, taxi to the ramp, see it.
Right, we'll see you at Frontier 533.
Kill make things. Foxtrot Romeo, right 20 left, clear to land. Clear to land, 20 left, full Foxtrot Romeo.
Let's go ahead and cheat a little bit outside.
Side heading 080 vector, final approach course.
A320.
After Oceanside, depart Oceanside heading 080.
Brake set. So this is one of those airports where I was talking about, guys, where you really got to watch your engine cooldown time. So we'd have to wait a full 3 minutes. But we'll go ahead and simulate that we've waited 3 minutes. Engine number 1 can come off. Signs are coming off.
Charlie is still current. Number 416, Juliet Kilo, 25, clear for takeoff.
Engine 1 can come off. Let's take a look at these wheel temps. How do we do?
Good takeoff, 25, 162.
It's actually plus 42. I should have left the flaps at 1 plus F. Wheel temps. See, here's my problem, guys. Look at this. It's 42 degrees outside. We were at medium brakes, and then I stood on them to stop, and we're only at 200C. In real life right now, these would be probably well into the 300s, maybe getting close to the 4s. So also another thing that I mentioned there, I should have left the flaps at 1 plus F on shutdown above 40 degrees Celsius. That way you won't trigger any erroneous bleed leak messages.
John Wayne Tower, 906.
Low 10% beacon come off.
Right at,
we'll disconnect from pilot edge. Man. So, we are here. Welcome to thank you for flying Frontier Airlines. All right, let's take a look at this replay, and I'll catch up with some of these comments. Man, oh man. Oh, and I also need to disable a real view for your replays. That has been confirmed to be a crasher of flight simulators. All right, we'll set that up. We'll get that up, and let's watch this. Just a Dude 0815 says Ryanair would have charged for just special blue tile. Oh man, that's funny. Brian Harris says V1 Sim, the quote of the year regarding 737-200. Once you go old school, you've got to keep it old school. Absolutely. Daniel Smith said I won't go old school. Oh man. Alex, this is ortho scenery. This is a Forkboy ortho photo scenery that was definitely having issues today. I apologize, guys. I might have to rework some of my INI files, but I apologize for that. Daniel Smith, is there such thing as flying manual in an Airbus? Absolutely. Just as manual as you would in a Boeing, man. In a Boeing, you're moving hydraulics. In the Airbus, you're moving hydraulics. The only difference is with the fly-by-wire, you're commanding a computer to move the hydraulics for you. So you move the stick, you're sending a signal to move the hydraulic fluid. So, which is, I mean, with the yoke in a Boeing, you're moving the yoke and sending signals to not signals, but you're moving an actuator, which moves hydraulic fluid. So you can very much fly the Airbus manually, and the Airbus flies extremely well manually. Just a little toasty and a light breeze outside. Auto brake max, you can't do auto brake max. That is prohibited for landing. Spin cycle, you jinxed me, man. Feeling a greaser. Did not have the greaser on it. Let's come look out here. Maybe this one's better. I wonder if that runway had something to do with the touchdown not being too well, because everything was off. Like my height above threshold said I was at 44,000 feet or something, So something was going on. I'm not exactly sure how much I rely on this landing rate, but we'll see. I thought it was going to be better than 200, but... Spirit, JCP123 says, Spirit Airlines, if we don't get your body there, we get your spirit there. God, you guys are hilarious. It looks like your runway isn't actually there. Othra overrode it. Yes, it sure did. Oh, man. Here comes the touchdown. Jeez, it sounded like we freaking crashed. We need gravel kits on this Airbus. All right, let's back it up a little bit more. Let's go outside. HD Sim says, I'm going to send you a better Palm Springs scenery link as well. All right, HD Sim. I'm at that point, guys, where I think I'm actually going to be doing a complete reinstall of X-Plane. I've got a lot of messed up stuff in there. I'd like to do, since I've got a new system now, I got a new motherboard and a new CPU, I really want to restart, hit the reset button on X-Plane. I'm just dreading that day of, you know, reinstalling every single add-on that I have. But it may be necessary. Maybe necessary at this point. We Pilot 993 maybe get off Pilot Edge for replay so you're not in air for ATC. I did disconnect, so I shouldn't be on there. I shouldn't be causing them any issues. Looks like a moon landing. Yeah. Alright, let's take a look from the runway. We'll watch it come in. I wish that the flight factor had replay sounds. It does not. Maybe we should go to the tower. How's the tower view look? Tower view looks a little bit better. I mean, we got nice windmills. I don't really hate the scenery. I'm missing a file or an INI file. X Gamer says, my dream is to be a pilot, but first I want to enter flight sim world. Where should I start from? Whew, man, I would start X-Plane 11, Cessna 172, and just mess around, man. It's free. Well, not X-Plane, but the freeware aircraft, the default Cessna. Just fly around a little bit, man. Start messing around, tinkering with different things. See if you like it. And I've actually got something in the works, kind of like a flight instructor school that will be coming down the pipeline in the future, but that's a little ways off. I'm really waiting to see how the FlyJ Sim multi-crew experience situation will be. Pilot Boy, thanks for the stream. I gotta bounce. All right, man, have a good one. Just a Dude says, my favorite V1 quote, sometimes we make it, sometimes we don't. That's right. OT says auto brake max is not allowed for landing. Why? It is prohibited per the Airbus. So we can't do it. Auto brake max is only for rejected takeoffs. Carnage says, will you charge the passengers for that gravel kit? Absolutely, I'm going to charge them more. Yeah, so it said I was at 4,000 feet above the threshold, which I definitely am not going to agree with that. Now we're on a different runway. That's okay. It's kind of a cool view. So we came down. Let's see. I could have flared it a little bit more. That did look a little bit like a 3-wire trap here. Well, that's a little too far. That's still too far. Let's watch it from the wheels. Let's go forward just a little bit. All right, can we watch from the right runway? This will be the last one here. All right, we'll watch it come right over the runway. Sam Cannon says, it's the new grooved runways designed for Frontier. God, you guys. Look at this. Look at this freaking road on the side here. Look at this. This is like the racetrack or something. Oh, my gosh. This is too funny. Maybe that's why I thought I was way higher over the threshold, because it thought I was... Who knows, man? Who knows? I don't know what's going on. Dougal says X-Plane really does benefit from a fresh install. We'll have to. I'm gonna probably have to do it, much as I don't want to. All right, there was nice over the runway. Let's take a look at this gravel landing here. Yeah, the runway just disappears right here. I was aiming for the touchdown zone markers, and we nailed it. Ooh. Hey, man, that's a Frontier landing in my book. I was right on the fake center line, though. There's the flower petals. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for me. I apologize for the technical difficulties, but at least we got to have a little entertainment out of it. Thank you for all the donations, guys. Everybody supporting the channel monetarily. If you're not supporting it monetarily, thank you anyway. Appreciate you being here, just viewing the stream and chatting with us. I appreciate every single one of y'all. So I will catch you all on the next one. Hopefully, we might have to come back out of Palm Springs with some fixed scenery. So I'll catch y'all on the next stream, guys, and I will. Yeah, that'll be it. I'll see y'all next time. Thanks for tuning in.